Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are tonight's entertainment. Hold on, Mary Jane!
We are sex people! 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Now, was I rushing or was I dragging?
You guys want to go see a dead body?
I know Kung Fu.
Do it. Get away from her, you bitch!
What's in the fucking box?
Hold on to your butts.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
So, Trent, it appears we have someone
an intruder
new
alert.
Here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Double the trouble, 3 times.
But we've been alluding to his appearance in the past few episodes as the big guy.
Yeah. And here he is, big as ever. Viraaj Marathe.
Yeah.
Brother
That last name, if that last name sounds familiar,
it's because
there is
he's
a
related
connection.
to host of the show, co-host, Parth Marathe.
Way to bring me down.
Viraaj, introduce yourself. Say hi. What
Hello.
have you been eating?
I had pizza earlier. We ordered Domino's. I'm not a huge fan of Domino's. People shouldn't trash on it as much as they do. But my relatives also lift it up way higher than it should be.
I agree with you that Domino's is not complete rubbish and that it has an unnecessarily
I think it has its
bad
place
reputation.
in the world.
Yeah, like when... Yeah, I was just going to say when you're drunk, but Viraaj, that doesn't apply to you. But like late at night,
he gets drunk
at
like
a
a lot.
sleepover, like past 11 p.m. or like 2 beers in, the rules of Domino's change.
Yeah.
Viraaj, you were just talking off air about how you've never listened to our show, and we have 80. Now we have 81 episodes. First time, really?
I
Parth
still
is your
haven't.
brother. No,
I still haven't listened to one.
no
I'm
offense,
pretty sure
but,
that's
like, what the
untrue,
fuck?
though. Well, wait, actually, Viraaj's friends have listened to the show.
Yeah, my friends
more
have
than
listened to
Viraaj has
more
listened to.
episodes than I have.
Yeah.
Is it you don't like to hear Parth's voice? Don't like to hear my voice? You don't like film? What's the problem?
Don't like
here?
our guests.
Yeah,
All of them.
all the
Wow.
above.
Absolutely everything.
Well,
Well,
we're
I'm
just
so
going to move
glad
right
you're
on
here,
past
then.
this because, Trent, I just need to hear what you're eating.
Frozen pizza.
Wow.
Yeah.
Inferior version of what I have.
Exactly. Kind of like as far as guest goes. It's like there's Viraaj, who's like the Domino's, and then I'm like the store-bought version who you have when you're like absolutely desperate. You just throw me in the oven for 10 to 15 minutes, and then you take me out, and you're like, it was okay.
Yeah. Well, I was on a very tough shoot outdoors. It was pretty cold all day, and I came home and I made butter chicken with rice.
So
And
is
it
butter
was-
chicken exactly what it seems like? Chicken with some butter on it, or is there more?
No,
to
it's
it?
like it's like an Indian dish. Like you make like a marinade with like yogurt and a bunch of like
Yogurt and other assorted spices.
yeah, like chili powder and garam masala and salt and sugar and whatever, and you make a marinade. You marinate chicken for a while, and then
You marinate the chicken.
Tomato.
You have more experience with butter chicken than I have, so just go on.
Yeah, so no, Viraaj, you're my younger brother. You should know your place. Keep quiet. But you put some tomato like
Got this,
puree, and some heavy cream. Let it simmer for a while, and then have it with some rice, and it's pretty good.
No onions?
Yo,
I did not
Parth,
put onions in
seriously,
this.
no onions?
I did
Are you
not put
kidding?
onion in this.
Are you kidding me right now?
Hey, Trent,
Trent-
how about you
forgot-
shut up?
Trent,
And
the
how about
food
we cue
connoisseur.
the intro?
Trent is Anton Ego.
Viraaj, you've garnered quite the reputation as we've called you Chef Viraaj on the show. When Parth has eaten something most recently that was prepared by you.
This is true.
When has that happened?
Maybe you're more,
That's
Well,
happened.
you
or
make
maybe you're more of a
cookies.
baker.
Oh, yeah. I used to be more of a baker, but then I would be like, she would just get very.
Ai is the term we call our mother, by the way.
Yes, our mother, and if I call
collective one.
If I call
You have
Parth,
the same mom.
if I call Parth Dada, it's also the term for older brother. Anyway, so
That must be confusing. Being that Dada, it's like dad, But Parth is pretty dad-esque.
No, I can see how that'd be confusing for you.
Anyway.
But anyways, I think we've fooled around enough. Is it time
You think so? You
I
think
think we...
you're ready to start the show? The water's warm. We're all acquainted.
Come on in.
Yeah, come on in,
Cue
guys.
the intro. Viraaj, just don't say anything for a bit, because I'm just going to do a little intro.
Remain perfectly still, Viraaj. Their vision is based on movement.
Welcome back to Craft Services, where we talk about...
the movies. Each week we talk about a film, and hopefully have a crew member of that film to talk with us about their experience working on the picture. Who did we have for the past month, Parth?
We had storyboard artists Oscar Wright, Danelle Davenport, and
Rob
McCallum to talk with us. To talk with us about their experience working on the picture. They were very insightful, so insightful, some would say, that they had us record an hour, 45-minute long interview. And so we split that up into 3 parts, and those are our last 3 episodes, and you can listen to them on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So you should do that before listening to our discussion, which is this episode.
And this is our discussion with who? The big guy, right?
Yeah. No, it's Viraaj Marathe.
Mm-hmm. We scored a middle schooler, no? Viraaj, we heard you're tearing shit up in 8th grade. Tell us how language arts is going, right?
Language arts specifically?
Or social studies.
Well, social studies, I have a test.
Is it true you have a class named Science?
How's homeroom?
I do have a class named Science. Social studies, I have a test on ancient China tomorrow. Like, it's exactly what you would expect.
Tell us something from that you think might be on the China test.
The Yuan dynasty founded by Kublai Khan.
Now we're talking.
Wow.
All right, Viraaj, I think you've said enough. I think it's...
It's time for the discussion to end. I had my 50 minutes of fame.
Yeah, you better sign off. All right, it's time to move forward with the format of the show.
Oh, wait. I feel like we haven't done a discussion in so long that we forgot our little bit. Yeah.
Wait, we have a bit? What's
it's like
bit?
The 10-word
Oh!
thing. We should have Viraaj do that.
Viraaj.
What's the 10-word thing?
Well, we forgot.
Give a synopsis. Yeah.
Yeah, you describe the movie in 10 words or less.
Man-child treats everyone around him like garbage, still gets girl.
Wow.
If you treat man-child like one word with a hyphen...
Man-child was one, with a hyphen. Yeah. Also, very mature reading to know that Scott Pilgrim is a douche, because that took me many years to realize.
Yeah, you're famously pretty slow.
Because Michael Cera good, Scott Pilgrim bad. But it's funny because they're basically the same thing, so it can get confusing. But Viraaj, that was good. Good work.
The actual synopsis reads, in a magically realistic version of Toronto, a young man must defeat his new girlfriend's 7 evil exes one by one in order to win her heart.
Pablo Garcia, old friend of the show, tuned into our Judas and the Black Messiah discussion, stopped by the equipment room today and saw me illegally streaming Scott Pilgrim, and we talked about it, and he said, Trent, I really don't like this movie. And I said, why? And he said, because Scott Pilgrim, he's dating a high schooler,
Not so long ago, in the mysterious land of Toronto, Canada, Scott Pilgrim was dating a high schooler.
As we'll get into it, I think it's a little bit more complicated than that.
I was just going to say, but also, it's more complicated than that. And I think this movie is pretty self-aware at times.
Yeah. Trent, you want to give us what the budget and box office was?
So the budget was $60 million, and the box office was $49.3 million. So
the studio made a profit.
No, using subtraction. Using subtraction, we can find out that they lost money. So they started out with more money than they had at the end, after they made a whole movie in the process. which was kind of discouraging given that this is a pretty good movie with a bunch
Yeah.
of talented people involved.
I guess it must have made a lot of money on home video, though, because this has become like a very big cult classic.
Anyone who's anyone has this movie on DVD. I'll say it.
Anyone who's anyone has it on Blu-ray.
Yeah,
Okay.
and Parth, I don't have a lot of Blu-rays, and I've got this on Blu-ray.
Oh, that's shocking to me, because
Can
Trent
I-
loves DVDs.
Despite them being like a pretty garbaggio medium. Let me say something. Parth, have you ever heard me make the statement that if you haven't heard of Nathan For You by this stage in the game, like you're officially like out of the loop?
I don't think I've heard you say that. No.
Okay, but I
guess
mean
you
it.
have that opinion.
And I think it applies to Scott Pilgrim by this point. Like, have you
Fair
been
enough.
living under a rock if you haven't seen or heard of this movie? Or are you just a normie, per se?
Yeah. Should I get into some production history?
Yeah, let's do it.
So, after artist Brian Lee O'Malley completed the first volume of Scott Pilgrim, his publisher Oni Press contacted producer Mark Platt to propose a film adaptation. O'Malley said that he, quote, expected them to turn it into a full-on action comedy with some actor he hated, though he didn't even care, admitting, quote, I was a starving artist, and I was like, please just give me some money. Universal Studios contracted Edgar Wright after he finished Shaun of the Dead to adapt the Scott Pilgrim comics, and in 2005, the studio signed Michael Bacall to co-write the screenplay with him. Edgar Wright cited Mario Bava's 1968 film Danger Diabolik as an influence on his approach to Scott Pilgrim, stating that he took an Italian influence, a sense of complete unbridled imagination. Wright said that O'Malley was very involved with the script of the film from the start, contributing lines and adding polish. And due to the long development, several lines from various scripts written by Wright and Bacall were later used in Scott Pilgrim comics as they were being produced at the same time. The screenplay's second draft, which O'Malley said became the main draft for the film, was submitted right at midnight on the night the writer's strike was supposed to begin in October 2007. No material from Scott Pilgrim's Finest Hour, the sixth Scott Pilgrim volume, appeared in the film as the comic was not complete at the time of the film's production. O'Malley contributed suggestions for the film's ending and gave producers his notes for the sixth volume, but said the film's ending was their ending. The cast spent 2 months in fight training before the film with Brad Allen and Peng Zhang of the Jackie Chan stunt team. Michael Cera said that he got kicked in the throat during training and expected it to be excruciating, but said that it didn't hurt at all, which was really confusing. Principal photography began in March 2009 in Toronto, and wrapped as scheduled in August. The film's original ending had Scott get back together with Knives Chow. O'Malley objected to the first ending because he felt it would dilute Knives' character. After the final book in the series, in which Scott and Ramona get back together, a new ending was filmed to help match with the books, with Scott and Ramona also getting back together in the film. O'Malley helped write this new ending. Wright called Knives' actress Ellen Wong beforehand, thinking she may be disappointed at the change, but found that she ended up actually liking the idea. The final ending was shot 3 months before the film was released, and Wright said that it is his preferred ending. The film received a wide release in North America on August 13th, 2010, opening in 2,818 theaters. Ben Fritz of the Los Angeles Times said that the film appeared to be a, quote, major financial disappointment.
Want to hear some fun facts, Parth?
That'd be pretty awesome.
But before we do, so Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, I believe, like, the name comes from, like, that's Volume 2. Like, that's, like, the subtitle. Because the Volume 1 is Scott Pilgrim's Precious Little Life, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Viraaj.
I think that's a misconception that, like, the whole thing is just called Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Wait,
Viraaj.
Viraaj, are you here with the knowledge?
Yeah, the second volume is called Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. I'm guessing that they chose it because it felt like the most fitting one. Because the rest of them sort of reference stuff that's happened in the books.
Also, it's a great title. Having verses in your title is awesome.
Yeah.
And also, it sets it up for, the Mortal Kombat of it all. Alright, fun facts. Edgar Wright, the director, stopped working on his Ant-Man screenplay for 2 years during the production of Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Anna Kendrick wears the actual name badge of the real-life Stacy, who Brian Lee O'Malley based the character on. In one of the DVD commentaries, Kendrick specifically asked that someone add this trivia to IMDb. So here we are. Whenever the moon is shown, it is full and there is a hole in it. Wait, who punched a hole in the moon in the movie?
That would be Todd.
I would imagine that has something to do with it.
The third X.
the third evil ex-boyfriend. So this film has a body count of 46 people, and apparently it's 47 if you count Scott getting killed, but as we know, he gets a life and one-ups and comes back. 46. I guess that counts like all the the extras who get.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you'd think it would just be like 6 or 7.
Yeah. That's like half the body count of John Wick.
Wait, like do 100 people get killed in every John Wick movie or so?
Like in the first movie, I believe it's 88 people get killed by John Wick.
But in this, they just turn into coins and there's no blood.
That's true.
It's like Fortnite. Anyone can play it as long as there's no blood. Moving forward, with the exception of Gideon, throughout the entire course of the movie, there's no blood, broken bones, or any kind of injury imposed onto Scott or any evil ex. Originally, Scott was supposed to hold a picture of Ramona from the comic book series at the party, but felt the silly drawing Scott holds up was more comedic. The 8-bit Universal logo at the beginning of the film was Edgar Wright's idea. It was then designed by his brother, Oscar Wright,
who we interviewed.
Friend of the show.
Yeah.
The concept designer and storyboard artist on the film. The logo scene in the final film was actually only a first draft. It was not yet considered finished, but test audience reacted so positively to it that it was decided that no further work needed to be done. One proposed idea was that Scott would turn out to be a serial killer who fantasized the gaming aspects of the film, which I think would be dumb. Thoughts, everyone?
I would be not a fan of that.
It's like when you wake up at the end of the movie and the whole movie was a dream. It was like, why'd we do that then? When Scott opens the door to receive his package, Michael Cera actually did throw the package over his shoulder into the bin and only got it after 33 takes. And on the DVD extras, you can watch him miss it for 32 times. And then watch the cast and crew go wild when it goes in.
Yeah.
And the original concept for Scott Pilgrim is based around 2 premises. The first was the idea of what if, after a life of playing fighting games, someone confronted you and you actually had the ability to fight like in Street Fighter. The second concept came about after Brian Lee O'Malley's future wife, after he learned that she dated 3 different guys named Matthew over the course of her life, and he came up with the idea of a League of Matthews, and this was then developed into the League of Evil Exes. What section comes next?
Well, Trent, I'm glad you asked. It's 1-star reviews. I guess I'll start.
A fan favorite section.
Okay, let's not get too big-headed. I'll go first, then Trent, you'll go, and then Viraaj. Why don't you tell us one?
Yep.
So this one starts out with me versus Scott Pilgrim versus the world. I just don't get this. I was supposed to like this based on what I heard from people, but I just found it completely annoying. Then I remembered I hate Michael Cera, and that probably has something to do with it.
I don't understand the Michael Cera hate.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, like, he's a sweet little boy. What's he done wrong?
Like, I understand the complaint of, like, oh, he plays the same guy in most things. But, like, I feel like they've made this personal. Or I feel like he's just an acquired taste that they haven't acquired.
I mean, like, saying that he plays the same character in every movie, that is true. But everybody also loves The Rock, so double standards?
The Rock,
Yeah.
Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
There are additional examples. But more importantly, Jonathan gave this film 1 star. He also thinks that there's, quote, too much Michael Cera. And you shouldn't, if he felt that way going in, he shouldn't have watched this film starring Michael Cera. I gotta say that one's on you, Jonathan.
Yeah.
So Ginkgo rated this 1 star with the only words being, I never ordered this.
So,
Yeah.
Viraaj, you wouldn't know this because you don't listen to our show ever, but pretty much every 1-star review, we do 2 that are critiquing the film in some way, and then the third one will just be like, I ordered the DVD and the Blu-ray disc accidentally came instead. And it will just be something about, you know, like, it'll be more of a
The
complaint
Blu-ray
about...
didn't play.
It'll be more of a complaint
Or
about Amazon or the shipping.
My son rented this.
Yeah,
or
it's
something like that.
It's a lot of that.
Yeah.
80 episodes of that, pretty much.
Yeah, but this is our 81st episode. And now we've finally come to our movie. We have to talk about what's working, what's not working.
We're going to talk about the film of the week this week.
Yeah. Well, the film of the month, apparently.
Yeah, this month.
I'll start. I came across this movie, I would say, like, half a decade ago.
Also known as 5 years ago?
No, but, like, half a decade sounds so awesome. and I really, really liked it.
You do
and
sound awesome right now.
Thank you. And then I showed it to Viraaj, and Viraaj really liked it. And then he got into the comic books.
I mean, to be fair, that was
those,
like 4 years later when I got the books.
Yeah. Sure.
Oh, so another half decade later.
Yes.
Well, that's not half a decade, Trent. You sound stupid.
It's 2/5 a decade.
Less than half a decade. Yeah, okay. He read the comic books and then got me to read the comic books. And as I have learned, Trent, you have also read the comics.
Yes, during our interview with, during the Scott Pilgrim Month interview, we were wondering about how the books end in relation to the movie and if he ends up with Knives or Ramona. And I held up Volume 6 and I showed the picture. And I said,
I remember this now.
Guys, it's Ramona. But Parth doesn't really listen when I talk all the time.
No,
so
I often don't.
Clearly that one went over his head. But, my first thought while watching this today, I was like, this is one of those movies where I wish I could remember the first time I watched it because of the fundamental pivot that takes place, and I would have liked to seen my facial reaction because very few movies take the approach of I don't know what the original trailers would look like for this movie and if it would advertise the fighting elements, but I would like to imagine a world where you could go into this movie knowing nothing and then have Matthew Patel come through like 30 minutes in and just be really confused.
I'll take out your junk and I'll flush it down. Mr. Pilgrim! It is I, Matthew Patel. Consider our fight begun.
I mean, I'm afraid Scott Pilgrim's been a part of my life for longer than I'm proud to admit. So I just can't picture a world where I didn't know about the League of Evil Exes. And I wish I could go, have a traumatic brain injury so I could wipe the slate clean and go back and try it all again.
That's intense. Viraaj, your thoughts on the movie?
As Dada mentioned, he showed this to me 5 years ago. Now that I think about it, I probably shouldn't have been able to watch the movie, but there isn't anything that terrible in it. Then we showed it to I think that the movie is really good, but I liked it a lot more before I read the comics, because when I read the comics, I realized, man, Scott is an awful piece of garbage in the movies, and he never actually learns. So I like the movies. I think they're funny. I think they're smart. I like a lot of things that it does, but it misses some things that just make it not as good.
I don't think he doesn't learn anything. Viraaj in private brought up an interesting point to me, which is that the comics have him start out as a very much worse person than he ever is in the movie, but then he ends up having a much greater arc because he atones for much more.
Yeah, because he starts further down.
Yeah. And the movie has him start not as bad, but end not as good. And so that arc is kind of less
Where does he end
strong.
Where does he end in the comics that's better than where we arrive in the film?
Viraaj.
So in the comics, there's this thing where he has basically repressed all his memories from his previous girlfriends so that he doesn't have to deal with the terrible mistakes that he actually made. And over the course of the series of the books, you see little pieces breaking through and breaking through. And he has complete and total memory loss. And when he finally sees it, it's just a huge moment where he realizes that he's just been terrible this entire time. And that's when he swears to get better. And he does get better.
There's definitely the idea that Scott is learning that he's an idiot, in the final battle where he's atoning for his sins. But I hear what you're saying. But the book's taking place over a longer period of time. Yeah. I think it's over months or even a year. I remember the seasons changing being a thing. But I think obviously the first 2 volumes are pretty much shot for shot.
It's the first 3, I think.
Yeah, but then after that it deviates in a really interesting way. And I think by this point most people watch the movie and then read the books, and reading the books after the fact is really fun.
And I think that the movie, I think nowadays doesn't get enough credit for just how inventive visually and just like as a film it is, because it's kind of put in like a similar category as like Fight Club, American Psycho type thing.
I was
where
waiting
it's
for
like
this to come
co-opted. It's like co-opted by people that don't really understand the point and think that the main character is like cool and awesome.
Yes, that's definitely part of it. I was just gonna say in a simpler fashion that it's been put into like the cringe category.
Well, is it the same thing? Is that the same thing as cringe?
No, I mean those are definitely separate issues. But I was watching the film and I was quoting the one-liners and I was like, wow, I'm having a lot of fun. But if a third party is watching this right now, I can't say I'd look particularly awesome.
I'm not afraid to hit a girl. I'm a rock star.
Oh my god. You punched the highlights out of her hair. He punched the highlights out of her hair!
People overlook just how tight the movie is as a whole.
It's less than 2 hours long.
From like a pure construction point of view of like, it's like very snappy. There's so many like jokes and jokes within jokes and like hidden gags and scene transitions and it's just
text on screen.
It's significantly more well put together than like your average comedy or just movie, and I think that gets overlooked because of some of the problematic elements, which I'm not saying aren't, that they don't exist, but I think that sometimes people like to say that they are only the problematic elements.
All right, for our viewers at home, Viraaj just stepped out mid-sentence, so he's not going to be chipping in anytime soon.
I'm going to guess. Here's what I'm going to guess. Wow.
Back with a big old thing of water.
No, that's beer, Trent. That's beer. Yeah. No, he drinks. Viraaj is a sailor.
All right. What I was going to say is that they had to do 7 Evil X's just because like that sounds catchy. And they had to follow up by like writing at least 7 fight scenes into a less than 2 hour movie, and there are more than 7 fight scenes, and that like fundamentally shouldn't work pacing wise, especially given that there are no fights in the first 30 minutes, and they fucking pulled it off.
Yeah, I guess like you can kind of make the case that there's really only 5 because
obviously the twins.
Yeah, and like the final battle is the final battle.
Yeah, but the final battle is also like 2/3 parts if you're counting Nega Scott.
Nega Scott is not a part of the battle. I mean, you cannot really.
They filmed a real Nega Scott fight, and then they went with this instead.
I did not know that, but like I'm fine with that. I think that would have been overload.
This is something I have to face. Myself.
Solo round.
Toast with like bananas on it, and you get bacon on the side. I'm liking that. Yeah. Oh, let's do it next week. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. All right. Be good. Yeah. Hey.
What happened?
Oh, nothing. We just shot the shit. He's just a really nice guy. We're gonna get brunch next week. We actually have a lot in common.
Yeah. No, I mean already the final fight back to back. Like it's a good parallel. But by the end of that, I was a little fighted out.
Yeah. I think if there's a problem to be had with the pacing of this movie, I think that at a certain point it reaches a thing that I have with like Wes Anderson movies where like for probably like 70 minutes I'm like, this is awesome, like I'm having a great time, and then you hit the 71-minute mark and
Something
I'm like
changes.
I'm a little exhausted right now. Just visual. Like, I think the point where it happens for me is the Kadiyanagi battle.
Really?
I think, like, it's just so loud that, like, I think it just, to me, calls attention to how, like, abrasive the movie can be sometimes.
It's the big... I mean, I feel like if I saw on a movie screen, it would be different. But watching...
And we did see it in a movie screen.
Oh, fuck me. Parth, I forgot about that.
Yeah, you, me, friend of the show, Sophia Alexis.
Wow, that was like our first movie like post-COVID.
Well, our collective first movie. I saw a movie before that.
It was Godzilla versus Kong.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was. Viraaj, who do you think won that battle?
I'm pretty sure it was Godzilla.
No comment.
We are Sex Bomb, and we're here to make you think about death and get sad and stuff.
This is the beginning of the song.
Yeah, watching the Karinagi fight today with like the two-headed dragon and then the big monkey man, I was watching on my laptop and I was like, yeah, it's hard to take seriously when it's so scaled down.
But yeah, well, I mean, it's still, and it's. I don't want to. I feel like we're like really harping down on the movie. I will like this. This is a.
You guys just wait for movie. You guys just wait for the ratings gauntlet. We're gonna shower it with compliments. Wait, you want? I wrote down a whole notes page worth of pros and cons.
Let's hear it.
You want some pros?
Yeah.
Let's just start out with the original music, guys. They made a fictional band, and the fictional band is supposed to be stupid, but in reality, their music is awesome. And it's like awesome because it's bad, and it's bad because it's awesome. You know? You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely
that
not.
Makes sense.
And like it's written by Beck, and like he really knows a lot about writing music. And the ending credit song, Ramona, super catchy. The Black Sheep cover, awesome. Like, what more do you want? Like,
There's not much more you can ask for.
I wrote a song about you.
You did?
Yeah, it goes like this.
Can't wait to hear it when it's finished.
Finished?
Viraaj, I'm curious to know what your overall opinion on the movie is.
So
yeah, you did say that you wanted to be on the show, if and only if we covered this movie, and here we are.
Yeah, I think it's very good. Like,
okay. So you're one of us. You're one of us.
He's one of the boys, essentially.
I'm a fan, but I have my critiques.
Good. That's what we're here to do. We love the movies we talk about, but sometimes they have problems. I'd say oftentimes they have problems.
And speaking of problems, Trent, you told me you had a con list.
I do. I guess we do everything that's working and then everything that's not working, but we seem to be alternating today. One of my minor critiques is that in the first half of the final battle, they just play the We Are Sex Bomb song again, just like faster. And maybe it's just because I've heard that song so many fucking times in my adolescence. But watching it today, I was like, do I really have to hear this song for the second time in the past 2 hours?
Wow. Trent can't listen to a song twice. This is insane.
Parth, did you go through all the trouble of making a pros and cons list, or are you just gonna...
No, but I did actually watch the movie. And
I know.
A step in the right direction for me.
But for the listeners at home, sometimes Parth doesn't, in the preparation, doesn't think to watch the movie before we discuss it, and it grinds my gears.
To be fair, have you ever noticed?
The fans at home, have you ever noticed? No.
Yeah,
Parth,
comment down below. Let us know.
It's like going to class without having done the reading. You can still raise your hand, and then the teacher will just think that you did the reading. Fun tip, just read the last page. They summarize everything about the reading. Viraaj, cover your ears. Go to college, do the readings, okay?
Yeah.
You're paying for your education. It's very important.
Again, my biggest problem is that once I get to the Karinagi twins, I have a little bit of a, like, okay, this is like a lot happening for a really long amount of time. But then once he dies, and there's like a moment to like slow down for a second, that's all I need, and then I'm recharged back up. And that final fight is really cool. It's really awesome.
I just love Jason Schwartzman as Gideon.
Yes.
This cast is crazy, and I hate to say it.
Yeah, I can't believe we didn't mention that yet.
He's the best part.
He's the best
He's
part.
not the...
His face is so... His face is so smug.
It's so punchable.
Like Michael Cera. I feel like Michael Cera's the best part.
Scott, we really should be thanking each other. I mean, if it wasn't for me, Ramona would never have been with you, but if it wasn't for you, she wouldn't have gotten back with me, so I guess it all shakes out, huh? Oh, Scotty, buddy. Between you and I, the whole League of Evil Lexus thing, I was in a really dark place when I put that together, so... Forgiven?
Like, this movie couldn't be made without Michael Cera. Like, anyone else is debatably replaceable, but also Mary Elizabeth Winstead as Ramona Flowers. Like, it's hard to envision anyone else by this point. She's so
ethereal.
She's so engraved.
Ethereal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Viraaj, I think we should just step out for a second while you sort out the wait, I can do this. The Manic Pixie Dream Girl sort of thing that's going on here. We'll just let you tackle this.
I think it's a bit weird that Ramona sort of fixes all of Scott's problems, but I don't remember if this was in the movies, but like she has her own problems. It's not like she's completely perfect and she has absolutely no flaws. She is a flawed character. She's not like perfection. So it does it, but it's not as egregious as other things.
I think it's less prominent in the movie. Like, they kind of they allude to the fact that she can be a bitch. Like, that she's, like, I've dabbled in being a bitch. That's what she says. But, like, we kind of never see her doing anything all that terrible other than, like, leaving or, like, not wholly communicating, which, like, Scott also does. But, like, I think maybe the most egregious moment in the movie is when Scott comes back the second time. They defeat, they're in the middle of fighting Jason Schwartzman, and then he explains, "No, I cheated on both of you. So are we all good?" And then they're like, "Never better." And it's like,
yeah, and
I understand that, like, we're supposed to understand that he learned stuff. But like
he doesn't,
he still screwed them over.
He doesn't get the punishment
like
he deserves.
Something. And it's weird because in the first half of that scene where Scott earns the power of love instead of the power of self-respect, he says like, "Oh, I didn't cheat on knives with Ramona. I didn't cheat on Ramona with knives. I cheated on knives with Ramona." And then she says, "What's the difference?" You know?
Yeah.
With the most memeable part of all this is, I can do this. I change my hair every week and a half, dude. Get used to it.
You know your hair?
I know of it.
It's all blue.
I change my hair every week and a half, dude. Get used to it.
I mean, if anything, we hate what that created because that entered our culture.
It existed before that, but like it definitely plays into that. I think that, like, sometimes the Manic Pixie Dream Girl trope, and I don't think a group of 3 boys talking about it is maybe the best way to be going about it. But, like, I think that, like, in a lot of the movies where it gets talked about, like Scott Pilgrim or, I don't know, whatever, like, a lot of times it's a movie that's in some way critiquing the trope. And so I think that, like, Scott Pilgrim is not wholly fair, at least the initial, if you look at the comic or whatever, like, it's kind of showing that, like, sure, maybe she does have these things, but it's because, like, she's being controlled and has had, like, a horrible dating history, and all these men have just, like, screwed her over, kind of, and that's why she's kind of the way she is. So it's not like she's this crazy girl that just solves all of his problems. Like, it's not just that. I'm not gonna sit here and argue that it's super deep and complex with it, but it's not. I think it has so much goodwill that it does not bog the rest of the movie so completely down.
Do you guys know the character Cosmo who knows everyone?
Yes.
Speaking of,
his name's Como, Trent.
It's Como. Sorry. But Como or Cuomo? Cuomo.
Yeah. Do you know Andrew Cuomo? Governor Andrew Cuomo, former governor.
Hey, Como, you know everyone, right?
Yeah, pretty much I do.
You know this one girl with hair like this?
Yes, that's Ramona Flowers. Somebody said she was going to be here tonight, actually.
What?
Scott, you have the hots for her or something? Like, I got to tell you, though, I hear that she's a little hardcore.
Or Chris Cuomo, former wait, is he
Former
still...
CNN anchor. No, he got
did
fired.
he get the boot? Oh, good. Well,
Yeah.
the Cuomo brothers are really doing good in 2022. Okay, so I think in terms of them critiquing themselves, like all of his lines under his breath, like, oh, the comic is better than the comic is better than the movie, and also when young Neil says, oh, you've got to see him live, right after the Clash of Demon Head finishes playing. And also
the one I love is the first album is better than the first album.
It's better than the first album, totally. And I think that, wait, for the fans at home, Parth's mom just walked into the back and then saw that Viraaj was recording and then slowly backed out of the frame.
Yeah.
She pulled a Grandpa Simpson.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Is that what that's called?
You know the thing where Grandpa Simpson walks in the door, puts his hat on the hook, and then promptly walks out?
Yes.
No,
wow.
I've never heard.
Raj, you made Trent do a belly laugh.
I'm a comedy wizard.
I think this you more so referenced The Simpsons, unless you wrote that episode. I wouldn't really give Raj
he did
all
that.
the credit
he
here.
did that.
It is well known that I am a comedy writer.
Is your name Bart? Mm-hmm. Does your father know you're working here?
It was his idea.
In that case, I'll have a whiskey sour.
Oh, wait, I was just gonna ask that everyone say their favorite line from the movie, because mine is when they come to the first gig, and they're versing Crash and the Boys, and Kim sees their drummer, and she says, they have a girl drummer.
They have a girl drummer.
They have a girl drummer. They have a girl drummer.
He punched the highlights out of her hair. He punched the highlights out of her hair.
That's a good one. That is a good one. If you want a fun little story attached to a line, I can give you one.
Please, Parth, come on.
So this relates to friend of the show, Claire Appel.
Friend of the show.
As
Phantom Menace episode.
As we've discussed, we did in fact date in a previous life.
Yes.
And
and now you live with her. That sounds complicated.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. On our second date, I think, I was feeling really awkward, and then we were eating pizza, and then it was quiet, and then I just went, "Bread makes you fat," and she laughed, and she laughed, and all was well after that.
That's kind of become the most famous quote from the movie.
It's strangely famous. I don't know why that's
the most famous
quote. I don't think it's that funny. All right, Viraaj, we've given you plenty of time to brainstorm.
I mean, pretty much anything Wallace says, because Kieran Culkin is great. But also, it's from the same scene that Trent referenced, where Crash and the Boys, they finally start playing, and it's okay, guys, we're gonna play our first song. It's called something related to I Am So Sad. And the song is just them.
No, I'm so sad.
I'm so sad.
Very,
I'm so
sad.
very, very sad.
And the song is just them going, so sad.
Sad.
Thank you.
Not a race, guys.
All right, this next song goes out to the guy who keeps yelling from the balcony. It's called We Hate You, Please Die.
Sweet. Love this one.
I think is it time to enter the ratings gauntlet?
Time? You think it's time?
I think
Wait,
it is.
It's almost time, actually. Wait, I have one more thing to say before we enter the gauntlet.
Wow, you always do, don't you?
I'm going through my list, bro. I went through all the trouble to make a list.
Wow. Okay, so you did do that, so I'll give this to you.
It's that Edgar Wright's directorial style could not be better suited to the subject matter.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Viraaj, it seems you also have a list.
It doesn't show well on camera, but I made a list of a ton of stuff that I was thinking about while watching the movie, and it's pretty extensive too. It's not a pros and cons list; it's just assorted stuff.
Viraaj, read us some key points.
In some of the earlier parts, they use chapter title names at key points in the story, and they used the actual font from the books, which I thought was pretty cool. I put, how does Scott wear a t-shirt in the winter in Canada? That was just a thought of mine.
No, that's a good point. Oh, Scott's t-shirts, guys. Cool or cringe?
Yeah.
I'd say they're...
The Sharpie one and the bass Rock Band one are both.
I'd say they're pretty cool.
Wait, Viraaj.
Any other points, Viraaj?
Keep going. I saw you broke out the note. I saw you broke out the notes app. So if we're gonna do
yes,
this,
sir.
let's do this.
The fights have like surprisingly good choreography. Like, I didn't know that they had like actual people on it, but they're really good. Yeah. Matthew Patel is iconic, absolutely.
This guy's good. Me and my fireballs, my demon hipster chicks.
Tell me, Maddie.
So do we want to have the talk of best fight?
I mean, it's really just two fights.
I know, go with Matthew Patel. Matthew Patel is my favorite, I think.
Because of the factor in that it changes the way that you look at the film?
Not really. I like the...
Yeah, it's absolutely absurd that they break out into singing and dancing.
Like, I like the, like... this is impossible. How could
Open your eyes. Maybe you'll see.
Maybe you'll see. Like, it's...
Exactly.
Ooh, but the Chris Evans one is also pretty good.
I'm nothing without my stunt team.
Yeah, he is nothing without his stunt team, is he?
I'm
still gonna go with Matthew Patel.
Can you do a grindy thingy on that rail? You mean a grind, bro?
Only if there's girls watching.
Yeah, but there's girls watching, you know? Wait, and so what's the worst fight? Because I used to think that it was the twins, but this time I kind of enjoyed that one. But
the twins easy. They reduce it to so... It's so much worse than what it was. And I've said this so many times in the comics.
Yeah, I read that in the fun fact section that in the comics and planned in the movie there was going to be a what's the subplot where the twins kidnap Kim, and apparently the actors spoke so little English that doing the musical number was hard enough, and so they opted not to do it. And so their role did definitely get minimized. Not only because they had to do two at once, but I feel like they got very little. Like, it was so rushed.
Yeah,
we've already gone through five. We've done five fucking fights, and now we have to do another one before the final fucking fight, you know?
I think it's fine that it doesn't end up being what it is in the books, because it would have been it would have just been a lot for it to be a full-fledged fight. But I would say that it's definitely the weakest of the bunch.
I mean, for the pacing of the movie to work, it has to happen. Because, like, you can't have Matthew Patel full-on fight, a full fight with Chris Evans guy, Todd.
And then you get a full fight with the vegan, yeah. And you get, like, a 3/4 fight with Roxy.
And you can't have a full thing with them. You need to have, like, the dragon versus monkey. The Kim getting kidnapped subplot. I really like that, but I'm not going to go in detail.
Also, they, like, go back in time, and you find out about, like, Scott dating Kim, and how apparently, in this universe, it's not just Ramona. Like, you have to, every time you date someone, you have to fight their evil exes. And it goes more into the universe of that. So, I'd say it's time to enter the ratings gauntlet, no?
I think it's time. Is the atomic bomb gonna...
Oh, wait,
drop?
Well, this is the ratings gauntlet after all, and I guess I am editing this episode. So I think right about now there might be a nuclear bomb sound effect, yeah. And so Viraaj, Parth, can you explain to him what happens during the ratings gauntlet?
So during the ratings gauntlet, Trent puts a sound effect where an atomic bomb goes off, and in the ratings gauntlet, we have 3 things we say. We have, would you recommend this movie? Is it rewatchable, or how rewatchable is it? And what would you rate it?
Alright.
So if you want to give us 3.
Wait, I think we should scream. I think we should scream first. Like, the bomb is... I feel like the bomb should hit us.
The bomb should hit us.
I know we said gauntlet a while ago, so this must be a really slowly exploding bomb. But, Parth, I think the bomb is coming.
Okay.
Oh no! Oh, it's...
Whoa.
My
Oh, you're perfectly okay after the poem.
Yeah, no. I'm on skates.
Did
I'm
you
like the
hide?
Wolverine.
Did you hide in a lead-lined refrigerator like Indiana Jones? We
right.
should cover Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Yeah, no, the best one.
I had someone tell me today in class that we should cover Jackass Forever, so I guess we're that sort of podcast now.
Yeah.
I mean, Jackass Forever is an excellent film. See it in your local theater.
All right, we got to wrap this up, Trent. Stop with your dilly-dallying.
All right, can I do the gauntlet?
Yeah.
Wait,
did Viraaj?
I would 100% recommend this. Very rewatchable. 8.5 out of 10. I'm feeling concise.
Yeah, there was a one of the reviews I read that I put into the document, and then you strategically edited it out. I'm gonna reference right now. It was that this guy was like, "Yeah, so I rented this movie for my son's 13th birthday party, and all the kids fucking hated it." And wait, Parth, you're motioning to me. Basically, I was confused by the fact I was thinking, what 13-year-old wouldn't love this movie? This movie's made for 13-year-olds. And if you've got a whole birthday party full of these guys and they don't like this movie, you have a bigger problem. It's not the DVD's fault. And I saw this movie when I was about 13, and it's several years later. And I like different things about it, but I continue to find new things I like. And there are other things that I used to like a lot that I now think are terrible. It's like when you first get into an album, and first you're into the really popular songs, and you don't like the unpopular songs, and then you get sick of the popular songs, and you're like, oh shit, the songs that I didn't like before are actually pretty good. It's kind of like that now. Think that this movie has had so much weight in my life that I want to give it a 10 out of 10, but it's not perfect, so I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10.
Fair enough. I'm going to have to echo what the two of you have said. It's very rewatchable. I would recommend it.
Endlessly rewatchable.
Anyone.
Endlessly.
I'll give it a 9 out of 10.
Man, now I'm feeling like I'm feeling like I didn't say enough.
Raj, the episode's not over. You can have your closing remarks. The older I get, the more I like Knives Chow, and the more I like her ending being Scott. I'm too cool for you anyway, and it's true.
Yeah.
That's growth,
and
baby.
With that, I think, are we done? Did we finish the episode?
You think we finished the episode? Wait, all right. There's one more thing I want to say.
Trent, no.
It's that the universal pixelated logo, the 8-bit. It's fucking awesome. Oh, yes. And wanna who designed that? Friend of the show, Oscar Wright.
We can say that. Officially a friend of the show.
From last week's episode. Yeah. Now that's a segue. And here's another segue. What comes next? You know?
Well, Trent, we did have a plan of what was going to come next, but
wait,
interesting.
Parth, do I look like a guy with a plan to you?
Trent, we can't tease it, but we do have something exciting that should happen that has not yet happened.
But it should. And
so when you guys listen to this on Sunday, let's just say that hopefully we cover a new release.
Hopefully.
You know? And whatever that big new release might be, you know, we can't speak to it.
But also we have exciting things lined up that aren't as secretive or new.
That's true.
But we have an inventory coming your way. And there's another Edgar Wright movie on the repertoire. We can't say which one, but it's one of them.
But we'll say it's interesting.
Yeah, no, all it is it's interesting. Yeah. Well, Viraaj, thank you for coming on the show. You're a great guest.
Thank you very much for inviting me. I've been waiting for a long time.
Well,
this was a good time. I mean, I know how big of a fan of the show you are, so it must be so exciting for you to finally be able to come, you know?
I know.
This is the first time we've had anyone related to any of us on the show.
Yeah, I guess your sister's not come on, and neither of our parents have come on.
Not yet. Is there a movie that that either of your parents would have to come on for?
Like Pride and Prejudice with my mom.
That's what I was gonna say.
Well,
or
your mom
or Predator with my dad.
Or Sholay.
Yeah, or that.
Sholay for either of them.
Yeah. So
epic picks. I think for my mom it would be Jaws. That's her favorite movie of all time. I feel like the whole time though she'd just be like, "This shit hits," which it does. It hits. It's Jaws. Steven Spielberg's 1975 summer blockbuster Jaws. But my dad, I think it would be one movie my dad really likes, Memento. My dad doesn't really he doesn't really watch movies that often, but he's like, "Yo, the storytelling in Memento, it's fucking sick."
He's not wrong, and we talked to Sammy Jenkins, so...
Friend of the show, Jackson Clark, is seriously considering getting a Remember Sammy Jenkins tattoo on his hand, and
he needs to be talked out of that.
No, I think he needs to be talked into it. It's a great idea.
All right, Trent. I think it's time we log out now.
And on that note...
Listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Did you see that we got 10 ratings on Spotify, and now it officially says that... We have 9 5-star ratings and 1 4-star rating, so we have a collective ranking of 4.8.
Wow, we're really falling in the.
My main question is, which of you assholes gave us 4 stars? If you're gonna go,
I'm gonna give you 1 star.
All right, Viraaj.
All right,
I'm gonna give you 1 star.
No, you're off the
but
show.
if you're gonna go through the trouble of
Delete the episode.
listening and then rating it, like you're probably our friend, so just give us 5.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna listen to a single one and then
Viraj,
put a 1 star.
Wow. This episode needs to end.
Viraj, this is a freezing cold take, my guy. We gotta log off before we get into some serious violence. Okay, you're pushing. Right. You're pushing.
About as cold as the winters of Canada.
Wow. Okay.
Takes about as cold as the winters of Canada.
Yep.
Okay.
It's the movie takes place in Toronto, Canada.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye, listeners at home.
Farewell.
Yep. We scored a middle schooler, guys. We got him.